Hey everyone, Toyhouze here, and we have some exciting news from Blizzard in this TBC Classic News Roundup. We're going to be talking about the Burning Crusade Classic Beta Arena Rating Update. We're also going to talk about guild banks, healing numbers, mail changes, Classic Era Realm connections, a new video released from Blizzard, the WoW Classic Character Transfer Gold Max change, and also the cloning service price change. All of that and more coming up right now. So first up, let's talk about the Burning Crusade Classic Beta Arena rating change. So, as we all know, we're going to be starting at 0 rating in Season 1 and all seasons for that matter. And so with that, Blizzard has decided to change how many points are awarded for when you have less than 1500 rating. Now, a rating between 200 and 1500 will earn you 214 to 344 points. That's not a lot for 5v5 arenas, and then that is going to get less and less for each bracket. So 3v3 will be less, and then the least out of all three brackets will be 2v2. Now, what's interesting is that the arena points you get for ratings above 1500 will rapidly award a lot more points once you pass 1500. So really, I remember back in the day, everyone was like, oh, we got to get 1800 or 1850 for the weapon. It's a really big inflection point. Well, now that's really going to be 1500. You're going to want to get above 1500 rating in order to really get really good points for the week. I think this is a great change because a lot of players are really just doing their, 10 games for the week, scrapping the team, doing their 10 games because every week that they do 1500, they get the 1500 team, they just lose their 10 games, and so they want that higher rating. So it incentivizes them dropping the team and making a new one. Now, with starting at 0 rating, it basically incentivizes don't do that, don't delete your team, just keep playing because I would assume you can't go below 0, but I guess that's to be seen. Now, another thing that's been changed that there's basically the rating requirements for Season 1 gear has been changed. So it was really, really restrictive. Now, originally in Season 1, I'm pretty sure there was no rating requirement whatsoever. And actually, what they were doing, if you've seen the past updates, if you've been following along, they're taking the final Season 4 rating requirements and putting that onto Season 1 gear, which is crazy because, it got more and more restrictive over time. And so, originally it encouraged everyone to go in Arena because there were no rating requirements. So what they're actually going to do is use the rating requirements from Burning Crusade's 3rd season, which is much less restrictive. It's going to require 2000 arena rating for shoulders and 1850 for weapons, and then the rest of the gear will have no rating requirements. So actually, a lot more gear had rating requirements. I think there was 3 more pieces that now will no longer have rating requirements thanks to this change. Now, when Season 2 launches, Blizzard is going to use the same rating requirements for the Season 2 gear while removing all requirements from the Season 1 gear at that time, which is normal. The previous season's gear always lost the rating requirements, so looks like things are sticking pretty normal there. So lots of really interesting updates. I think for the most part they're fixing things that were kind of broken. The 1500 rating starting and then dropping your team and all that shenanigans I wasn't really a fan of. Personally, I never did it, but I know there's a lot of people who are, casual, or that's probably me now, honestly. But I think it's a good change for everyone, quite frankly. All right, let's talk about guild banks. So Blizzard announces that there will be no guild banks on Burning Crusade Classic at launch. So the reason for this is because back in the day, typically guild banks were introduced during the Zula Man patch, but Blizzard plans to not have it during launch, but try to introduce it faster than it would have followed in the original patch progression. Maybe we can anticipate it for Phase 2. All right, so next we're going to talk about the healing numbers. So if you've been looking and healing, I guess, you've noticed that healing numbers typically are not showing up where you would expect them to, right above the player's head that you're healing. It's sort of like, when you're DPSing and you see a huge crit. For healers, when you're healing and you see that huge crit, it feels really great. And so basically if Blizzard has acknowledged this and they are hotfixing, they are patching it in that healing numbers will be present in Burning Crusade Classic, which many people are very happy about. They said it was literally unplayable before as a healer to not see that because you don't feel any sense of doing well, or like you see that big juicy heal and you get no dopamine hit, right? Well, I'm super happy that they're making this change. Looking forward to that as well. Now, the next change is another small fix, is that mail sent to your own characters will be instant in Burning Crusade Classic. Thank you, Blizzard. I cannot tell you how many times I've been transferring items from one alt to another, whether that's a bank alt or just an alt character, and I just wish that mail was happening faster. It takes an hour right now, but it'll be instant in Burning Crusade Classic, and I'm assuming pre-patch as well, which would make total sense. So that is amazing. Thank you, Blizzard, for that change. That's going to be a huge quality of life improvement. Now, the next topic I want to talk about is the upcoming WoW Classic Era Realm connections coming on May 18th. Now, this is basically taking all of the classic realms that are going to be staying classic, and they're connecting them into sort of what it is like now in retail, where you have players all in the same world from different realms. Now, I think this is a good change because, as you can probably imagine, I would bet that the majority of players are moving on to the Burning Crusade, and this is sort of a necessary step in order to create a world that still is vibrant and lots of players and lots of things going on. And I think that Blizzard anticipates that a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, this server's dead, that server's dead. I mean, if you look at the current state of WoW right now, a lot of servers do feel kind of dead at certain times. Ironforge is empty, Stormwind is empty, Thunder Bluff, Undercity, just empty, right? And so I think this is a great step. I think it's controversial in some aspects because you're kind of moving away from the fundamentals of what classic really is, but at the same time it almost feels necessary because of what's happening with TBC. So I'm going to post a list right here of all the regions that are connecting, but basically at a high level, all the PvP realms are going to be together, the PvE realms and the RP realms are sort of going to all mash together. I think this could actually be really interesting because, I think with PvE servers, they're usually really lopsided. For PvP servers, they're really, horde lopsided, Benediction being the outlier among, I think there's one other. So it's kind of interesting, actually. I think this could be a very interesting thing, these servers where it's like 1% Alliance, 99% Horde. I think it's like Mankrik or Flame something. But anyways, I think it could be actually kind of interesting for those servers, and I think it's going to be healthy for them. All right, now the next topic I want to talk about is the Blizzard lowering WoW Classic cloning service price to $15. Now, I think this is a great move because, I think Blizzard is like really, really trying to make the most possible money that they can from Burning Crusade. Like, if you saw, there's actually a lot of videos online talking about how monetized Burning Crusade is. I didn't even realize, but I kind of agree. Like, it's super monetized, but at the same time, like, you don't have to buy it. And I understand, like, you're impacted by these boosted characters and whatnot, which kind of sucks, honestly, for those people who don't want to buy anything. And I'm actually one of them. I'm not going to buy the boost. I'm not going to buy the deluxe version. I'm not planning on buying anything. I'm so glad that Burning Crusade itself is free. I mean, we bought it back in 2007, but it's awesome that it's free. So I'm really glad that they're actually reducing the price. I think that they should also reduce the price of other things, honestly. But that might incentivize more people to do it. I don't know. I'm a little torn. But honestly, anything where Blizzard is sort of like trying to demonetize as much as possible, I can get behind. So anyways, it's going to be $15 because of a lot of feedback from the community, which I think a lot of people are very happy about. Now, Blizzard also released a new video, which talks a little bit about Blood Elves and Draenei, the two new races introduced in the Burning Crusade. Really nothing new there if you've been, playing World of Warcraft for, any bit of time. Basically explaining what races which classes each race can play. I thought it was a fun video. Looked kind of cool. But it's out, and if you want to check it out, I'll put a link to it in the description below. And the final topic of the day today, I want to talk about the WoW Classic character transfer reopening after pre-patch. So you weren't able to transfer your character from realm to realm during this sort of cloning period. It's going to be reopening after pre-patch. So pre-patch, again, is in 2 days. Well, actually, depending on when you're watching this, May 18th. It's going to reopen, and the maximum transfer gold amount has been raised to 5,000 gold. Now, there's actually brackets if you weren't aware, if you haven't transferred a character, but if you're like level, I think like something like 1 to 50, you can only transfer 500 gold, or maybe it's 1 to 59. 500 was the max, and then once you hit 60, I think the max was like 2,000. Well, that max is going to be changed to 5,000, which totally makes sense because of how much gold is more readily available in the Burning Crusade. I think 5,000 is a great number. I think most people shouldn't have more than 5,000 gold on a character, but I'm just a normal person with normal levels of gold. I don't do GDKPs or anything like that. Who knows how much money those people have. But anyways, guys, those are the main updates for this week. I hope you guys are excited and ready for pre-patch. I know I am super excited for it. I can't wait to make a Draenei Shaman and try to get it to max within those 2 weeks. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a like. And if you want more World of Warcraft content, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.